hottest topic today, I believe, in my opinion, in pop culture, is Karen Huger being sentenced today. As you can see, the setup has changed. We're changing a lot of things around, so bear with me. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. We'll be reading from my notes over here in case you're wondering why is she looking down. So this is the shocker. I call it the sentencing is a shocker to me. I did not think that Karen would have to do any jail time. I don't know why I thought that, but I didn't think that she would. I honestly thought that they would have pity on her, and it's kind of sad. I'm actually sad. I know a lot of people feel away, especially when we are talking about folks that repeatedly put others in harm's way. We're talking about when folks decide to drink and drive. I totally understand that. However, I just thought that this would be different. So here's the sentence. The sentence is 2 years in prison, 1 year suspended. So she will essentially end up serving 1 year if she stays in. If she stays in, right? She'll serve those 12 months behind bars. She will not be able to drive for another year. Here's the thing that we found out just a few days ago. This marks her fourth alcohol related arrest from 2006 to 2011. Now, I looked it up, I couldn't find much, but I think that the first DUI, she was able to downgrade it. However, the other ones I think stuck, but where I'm from, if you've got 3 DUIs, you don't get to drive anymore. And you're definitely doing jail time. So she's got something going on. I don't know if she's got a good attorney or Ray has been paying to keep her out of prison. I don't know what it is. But I grew up with a girl that had 3 DUIs. You know what she drove? A bicycle. And she was very, very fit. And when she got back into a vehicle, unfortunately, she was doing the same thing. Got a fourth DUI, spent more time away from her family, her children, and it just doesn't stop. They took away her license indefinitely. So I'm surprised to see that these laws are that lax. Is that what's going on in Potomac, guys? Like y'all are not y'all allowing people to be, triple and quadruple offenders? Well, maybe not in this case because prosecutors did push for a stricter sentence. They cited her previous offenses and they were like, there's just, this woman's not getting it. So they wanted 2 years. They got 1 year, but even still, when I heard that, I'm thinking they want only 2 years. Like this could have been potentially bad, but I think that fans are extremely shocked, and I see a lot of people like laughing and mocking her. But I definitely believe that this is the end of the Grand Dame era because I really feel like that alter ego is probably why we didn't get a more honest and forthcoming version of Karen. I want to go into her defense. Now, some people are saying that it was the emotional distress in her life, and we're going to get into what that is. And other people are saying that it's just a convenient excuse. Now, her defense team said that, well, they blamed her behavior on emotional distress from personal things with her parents passing back to back. They said that the combination of alcohol and her antidepressant created this kind of the version of her that we saw in in the body cam footage. And I want to talk about that for a second, but let me get to my list. And they said that she had a concussion from the car crash because the airbag exploded. And I'm thinking back on the video, and I do remember seeing that, but there was no conversation about it. And stop laughing. I'm about no, Cecily, don't laugh because I was thinking this is probably why the wig relocated. I remember thinking that. So stop, don't laugh, don't. It's not funny. It's not funny. So they tried everything with the defense. They argued an illegal search and seizure. The judge was not having that. They claimed that the officer was rough with her. They grabbed her arm. That didn't work either because she could barely walk. She apologized. She expressed remorse. She asked for leniency, and she sent a letter to the officers involved. I don't know if y'all know that, but they tried. Uh, she About this antidepressant stuff, because there's been a few housewives that have gone that route. I'm not gonna name names right now, but although they say with antidepressants you don't mix it with alcohol, I have yet to read any of those. What are those things called? There are side effects or potential side effects or indications, whatever the word is. I've never read it say that it's definitively will cause these sort of reactions. Now, I'm sure anyone could hire a doctor and say, yeah, that we can attribute her behavior to that. But as a person who has actually used antidepressants and had things to drink, I have never seen myself in that state. I don't know what kind she's using. I don't know how much she's using. I feel like if she's using something that is easily, I guess I would say, modified by alcohol, because there are some things you just do not do alcohol with. I feel like you got that warning and you didn't heed it. And so that's not a good excuse. That's just not a good enough excuse. Like, you know better. Body cam footage. I feel like we saw a whole other side of Karen with the body cam footage. I was surprised. I expected a tipsy kind of Waverly kind of goofy in and out version of her. I did not know we would meet this erratic version of her. She was visibly intoxicated, and I didn't expect that. I thought it would be like, I thought it was mild. I didn't know that she was as messed up as she was. And I think that's when the tide changed. When we saw how messed up she was, it was like, yo, not only could you have killed yourself? Oops, unalived. Unalived yourself. You could have took out a whole bunch of people. And her attitude during the season, when you put everything back together, it's kind of like, really, bro? Like, that's your reaction? Like, you could have seriously hurt yourself and other people, but your ego and this refusal to really just be open and admit that you have a problem is beyond me. And so I think she's possibly serving time because of that. She just would not let that grand dame facade go. Like, girl, if you don't throw yourself on the mercy of all your co-stars, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be walking around, like, letting everyone know what I was going through. And another thing that they did not mention, what is weird to me, is like, where is the AA piece? Like, AA is free. You can, anyone can join. If we saw her going to AA meetings, and you can't go inside, like, right? Like, it's a personal thing. If honestly, most people don't even admit it, right? But it would be her right to do that. But if we saw her kind of disappear, come back, maybe her and Ray could have gone, because sometimes the loved ones will go to, just something. That could have been just enough. She didn't have to let us into all her business. She didn't have to sit here and say, I got a problem, whatever. She could have said, I'm managing it. I'm managing, the situation. And I think that we would have gave her a little bit of grace. The car was totaled, and we saw definitely that she was incoherent. She was emotional. She was definitely confused. The mention of, like, inappropriate things, like are you looking at me? Talk to my son. The being a concubine, if you will, you know what that means. All that stuff was just her confused brain, and maybe an interaction with another substance. So you know, she did apologize publicly. She did take full responsibility, and she did take responsibility on the reunion, but she still has a way of just like doing just enough. It's like the equivalent of, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, you're not sorry for your actions, your behavior. You sorry that I took it in the wrong way. Like, it's an inconvenience to you. That's what I get from her. Like, there's never any real like raw emotion. Like, who are you behind the wig? Who are you behind the facade? I don't know. Let's talk about that rehab. Was it a rehab or was it a luxury getaway? Now, I've heard both sides, and quiet as kept, it's not even an alcohol program. So what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? So they call it a recovery program, but it's not alcohol, it's not drugs, it's vague, right? It was in Arizona, a place called Miraval Resort in Arizona. The prosecutors were calling it a luxury spa. They said it was not a rehab facility. They also referred to it as a holistic wellness program. Again, that doesn't sound like a place to recover from alcohol, right? Maybe a bad night, maybe a crazy weekend, but not crashing your car and this is the fourth time you've got a DUI. She did not enroll in any alcohol treatment program until she was convicted. Like I said, she did not do anything, and she could have done plenty of things. Plenty. It was all available to her, and she waited until the last minute. The prosecutors said that she didn't show any real accountability until basically the heat was on her, and that she was basically trying to save face instead of seeking genuine recovery, which is sad because I feel like if she did seek genuine recovery, then we wouldn't be here. And she would be well on her way to being a better version of herself, if you think about it, because this happened last year at the same time, right? Again, how do we, let me see. Should I say that out loud? Okay. Is there a world where is there a world where Karen, is there a world where Karen comes back from this? Because there's been other, like, Bravo celebrities that have left and come back. We know she's not going to be filming this next season. And when Teresa left, like, I think there was, like, that feeling like we knew Teresa was coming back. Like, Teresa was a staple on the show. And, like, no one expects anybody to pause while folks are filming. But even though Bravo loves a redemption arc, don't they? They do. I feel like Potomac needs to be shaken up. Even though this was a decent season, I don't believe that we can keep punching Mia in the side of her head. Like, we can't keep her as the whooping child. I was tired of watching her get it every week, even though I felt like she deserved it. It was a good gathering that should have happened maybe once or twice, but it became like the theme, and I don't want to watch that. Because Mia's going to keep being that person. And if you watch her too closely, you will have things to say. That's why I think she works in the midst of other chaos, because you're not paying that much attention to her. But once you are spending days with her, going on trips with her, seeing what she's doing in her private life, listening to her, then you get all that stuff. I think that's just a part of the Mia package. So if we don't tap into that, we have other stuff. I think Mia works. But if you don't give us anything else, then what's the show? Because I'm still waiting for the opulence and the beauty of Potomac, to be honest with you. Karen and them they were the closest things to being a wealthier to do couple, but you know what happened with them. But it's like, aren't there other sides of this that we're supposed to get? I expected like old money. You know what I mean? I expected well-to-do Black folks. Like, I expected, this is going to sound cliche, but I expected Jack and Jill tea. I expected we're going to the Hamptons for the weekends. I expected this whole different version of Black elite that I didn't get. And we don't really have that. Like, I really thought it would rival Beverly Hills in terms of the amount of wealth that the people have. And we can still do that because I'm ready for that. I'm ready to see people not act a monkey, because there are times where I feel like I'm watching the Real Housewives. Not Real Housewives, but I was going to say something mean, and I'm not going to say that because I love LA. I was going to talk about, stop. Love and Hip Hop. I'll just say that. It's a Love and Hip Hop kind of moment with just older people. Just put a few years on them and it's the same thing. To me. I think that she has to rebuild her brand. I definitely agree with the Grand Dame thing to be thrown away. But I think she has to come back a more compassionate and trustworthy elder person. Even though Karen is older than everyone, a lot of times her behavior makes her like it takes value from her. Like, she becomes like on the same level as everyone else, Candace and all these other, and even Ashley. Like, when she's going at them, you might as well be the same age as these people. In real life, we know that there are old fools. We get that, right? Like, there are people whose emotional growth is stunted. But I didn't want that for Karen. I didn't want to see a woman that was in her 60s, 61, I think she is. I didn't want to see a 61-year-old act like a 40-year-old or a 35-year-old. She cited that her role in this show as leadership was stressful to her. I'm not going to take that away from her, but at the same time, I'm like, you also did not act like a leader a lot of the time. A lot of time you didn't. A lot of time you jumped in the fray just like everyone else. And I do want her to be that role model because she has a lot of life experience. And there are moments where Karen held the people together. She was the glue. Those are the highlight moments, I feel, where Karen contributed. But this past season was a horrible display of, a person that does not take accountability, who felt like her privilege would work in her favor. And if I were to get DUI 1 through 4, I'm going to do some time. So that's not something you want to put out there. That's not something that you want to we don't even want nobody to know that about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how bad it gets, I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to have this air about me until they put the shackles on. Speaking of the shackles. She was taken into custody, and there was someone, let me see if I can find this. It's in real time, so hold up. There was, I think I got the screen grab, and since I'm not on my main computer, I'm actually on my phone. I can't show you guys this, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, Karen Huger's alleged last words while being taken into custody. This lady wrote, as Karen was being taken into custody, she yelled, "Love you, Ray. God's got you. You'll be all right. God bless you." Love you, Ray. God's got you. You'll be all right. God bless you. That's different. That's different. You'll be all right. Zaya, if I have to go to jail and I say you'll be all right, how you gonna feel about that? I don't know if that's like encouragement. Like, I don't. That's their marriage, but again, a softer, kinder, more relatable, more maternal. Is that okay? Can we have that? Like, I know she's a young 60. She's not a grandma yet. She has children in college. My children are older than hers, okay? So, I don't know. I think we may not see her for a while, and even when she's out, I think we might see her as a friend, to be honest with you. I'm rooting for her to make a dramatic comeback. I She is one of my favorites on the show. Bad behavior and all, she is. And her relationship with Ray was under a lot of scrutiny, especially when he was a little bit more vibrant. I wonder if that will be a thing that will pop up, because the girls love to talk about the stuff on the blogs. They love to throw dirt. And I just have a feeling that someone's going to have a moment like, I saw Ray at the such and such, and then the do. So, Ray, please be on your P's and Q's. Stay in the house for the next year. Don't accept any packages from any old ladies. You know how they want to show up and want to drop off casseroles and stuff. This is not the time for you to be making friends. Stay off the internet. Close down your Instagram if you have one. Steadfast. Talk to your woman. Visit her as much as you can. Do not mess it up. Don't mess it up. There are some old ladies that are making probably baking cakes right now. Don't go and tap on that door like, we thought you could use something. Don't do it. Be be a rock for Karen, Lord Jesus. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you think it's an end of an era for Karen? Or do you think that she will make a dramatic comeback? We are all waiting to see if she will continue to be our grande dame or if the thing is over. Appreciate you guys bearing with me in the setup, as I customize and get stuff together and everything. But I'm just glad I got this one out. It's been weeks since I've actually done a video. So we back though. We back and just in time. Man, I got a crazy video for you guys. Wait till I upload this one. If you do not follow me, please do now. If you give me a thumbs up, it helps to push the video out. Follow me so that you can see more of my content, and I will see you soon. Peace out.